Hey everybody, it's your boy, Do It Dan. That's me. I'm Dan. People call me Dan because I'm Dan. Actually, my first name was Daniel when I was born. My first legal name is Daniel. Do It with Danny, that didn't really sound good. You know, Danny is what my parents always call me. Even most people that know me call me Danny. Anyway, that wasn't awkward enough for you guys. If you're not new here, you know who I am, you know what's going on. Then you can probably skip this part, doesn't matter. But if you are new here, welcome to my shop. This is my personal shop. I do it for YouTube and stuff like that. I've kind of just been teaching myself how to do stuff. I've got no teaching or background. I'm just kind of learning. YouTube videos. Just using like YouTube videos and resources and my friends and stuff, right? I'm doing some pretty gnarly builds here. I've got an 89 notchback Mustang that I'm building from the frame up. And I've also got this 73 Camaro that's over here that I'm building from the frame up, I guess now. And then I've got this thing. This is my dually. It's my Denali 3500, picked it up from 74 Auto. They said, hey, it needs a new frame, get to work. And here I am. I mean, I've just recently replaced the frame, engines and stuff. It's got a lot of problems. And we're officially now starting back on this. I've taken a break on it for several reasons. One of them was to swap the frame, which took a long time. It's a frame swap. It took us a year to do a frame, but we frame swap for essentially nothing. It cost me almost nothing to do this, which I'm super happy about. But it's got a lot of quirks and features about it, Mr. Doug, that we need to talk about. And we're gonna dive right into that, and we're gonna start fixing them hopefully today. Anyway, let's take a look at this thing. There's a lot going on, I'm sure, if you guys have never seen this, or if you're even coming back to this. A lot of people are coming back to my channel after the truck has started to resurface. It's been gone for quite a long time. I've been working on other stuff. But I want everyone to know that if you're coming back, that I welcome you with open arms. Thank you, come on back, but I'm gonna fucking do that because you shouldn't have left in the first place. I got shit to do. You're doing it with me, let's go. Gotta stay hydrated from my water bottle. Don't worry about the brand, worry about the logo. All right, this thing, look at this fucking thing. It's a complicated issue. There's a lot going on with it. I guess I lost that. Let us do a complete overview of shit that needs to be done, at least right now. I know I run through what we need to do a lot, but just let me do this real quick, it'll be fast. Okay, there's a lot missing from here. Bumper and grill, I have both of those here. I'll put both of those on today if I can. I got a bunch of wires here. Don't know what they fucking go to. Don't know what this one goes to. I think this is StabiliTrak, but I can't be positive because I don't know anything. Horns, they don't work, but I'm assuming it's because part of the harness is unplugged here, and then another part of the harness is unplugged there. Don't know what those go to. Moving on, this is a colossal mess here. I'd like to really take my time and go through this and try to clean it up. There's a cover that kind of goes over all of this. That'll make things a little bit easier. Headlights not only need to be completely resurfaced, because they're really gross, but I think this one doesn't work right now. I don't know exactly which one. One of them doesn't work though. One of my blinkers don't work. I spent a lot of time wiring this stuff before I took it all apart for the frame swap, and now none of that matters anymore. Because when you do wiring and then swap the frame, things are gonna be different, Dan. No shit, things are gonna be different. Under here, more mess. I mean, under here, I don't, what the hell? This is for my light bars, okay. I think this is the relay for my fast fuel system, I think. I remember Lewis taping this up when we were there last time, and I appreciate that because now it's nice and waterproof and I can tug this somewhere. Most of the stuff under here is plugged in. And there's been a couple of deletes, you know, and I don't know enough about diesels to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't even remember what I had plugged into there. Oh yeah, I got the air filter. Although I'm probably not gonna put that one back in because it's real dirty. Actually, I think you can clean the air filter that I have. We'll go over that in a second. Also, this is exactly where I stand compared to the hood of the truck now. Yes, I'm short. Get your jokes in. After we did the torsion keys all the way up, it completely changed the height of this truck. That being said, I might bring them back down. It does ride a little bit more rough. You guys were right about that in the comments. I'll give you that. In here, it just needs to be cleaned up a lot, for sure. Like, there's a lot going on in here. You know what? The lighting is not great, I'm sure. I also have a cold crank issue. On the last video, you guys were super helpful about the crank and stuff like that, except I don't think I did a very good job of explaining the issue. Honk, 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 honk. The issue is not that it wouldn't start, it's that it wouldn't crank. That was my fault. I don't think I clarified that. I'd go to put the key in, turn it on, you know, like turn it to accessory, and then I'd go to turn it on to start, and then it wouldn't engage the starter solenoid. So something between the starter and the key wasn't connecting, whether it be like the starter itself or the solenoid or some sort of short in the whole system, I don't know. A lot of people said glow plugs this, glow plugs that. I think this thing will still try to crank, even if the glow plugs aren't warmed up yet, it'll just crank and crank and crank and crank. Versus when I would cold start it, it wouldn't even crank. Probably haven't started this thing in like a week or so I'm gonna see if it cranks. Key in, accessory, glow plugs, they're good to go. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. The lights in here, the underglow underneath that all still works. That all works great. Also, I did have a service StabiliTrak. Service StabiliTrak. Do I have a code reader? Let's see what our codes look like. I don't think I have any codes, to be honest. I don't think I have a check engine light. No codes found. Oh, fuck it. It's a good truck. Nothing's wrong, right? The light markers work. My cab chicken lights work. I don't think my third brake light or reverse light works right now. I don't think it's plugged in. Actually, I know for a fact it's not plugged in. These work. Yeah, those, okay, so that works. So, okay, I have hyper flashing. That's blinking. That's blinking. Or do these not blink? They might not blink. Blinking. I don't think that blinks. Correct me in the comments. Blinking, blinking. Okay, well, hyper flashing isn't really that big of a deal. I'll throw in some resistors or something like that just to get rid of these stupid prompts. So right now it's just ABS StabiliTrak codes. Maybe that's not as fuckered as we thought. I have a starlit headliner. So as you can see, there's a bunch of fiber optic cables and I love it. I absolutely love this thing. We've done a lot of really cool shit on this truck, but in the interior, which the lighting, shop lighting is great, but at the same time, you know, I got like 5% on top of 5% window tint on the truck, so I guess I'll open up all the doors. Oh yeah, all this trim, all the chrome trim, I'm gonna probably remove that. You're the ice cream man? What the fuck? Shit, that's the fucking ice cream man. I don't have any money. All the tall kids beat me up and took my lunch money. Oh no. All this stuff, I'm gonna rip this out. My subwoofer box, I ended up giving that to a friend of mine. Actually, Lewis's son. Lewis's son was like, oh man, like, can we see if it fits in my truck? I was like, yeah, just fucking have it. I think I'm actually gonna do another box, lift the seats up higher, build some spacers for them, do some sundown 8s. You know, they have those 8-inch subwoofers that are like 8 inches wide, so they're only like that big, but they're like really deep too. So I think I'll probably make a smaller box and then raise the seats with some spacers so I can fit some like real subwoofers underneath there and have some more punch. I'm gonna probably rip the headliner out. It's sagging in a couple of spaces because it's been parked outside a lot in the heat, and then I had to park it with the windows down for months, so there was like humidity and stuff like that. And as much as I love this headliner, I'm better at working with material now, so I'm probably gonna just rip this out today and have to start over on the headliner. But that's a project that I'm confident that I can do by myself. You know, that's how I can build frame rails. I can build headliners, right? Also, like what I was saying, how we redid the seats. You know, I've did it with this tan and black with black stitching, right? You know, it all matches really good. The original color of the seats were like a brown, purple and brown and tan. Here we go, this is a good example. It's like this brown. It's like a purpley brown color. For some people, yeah. But for me, it's not my take. So I think I'm also gonna pull off all these panels today and see how I feel about maybe reupholstering them, you know, throwing some suede over these maybe, or maybe some black vinyl. But more than likely, I'll probably just end up ordering some more soapstone. Probably could use that actually. Oh, and holy fuck! This is the biggest find of the century! A 10mm socket! Oh my god, the previous owner will be calling me about that. No doubt, no fucking doubt. Can't believe I found a 10mm socket in my own truck. It's not mine either, I don't even have Norton tools. Oh, my hat, man. It's crazy what you find in a truck that you haven't been in like a year. Put it up there with my other welding hats, my HeatWaves. I also took the, if you guys remember very briefly in a video, I took out the A and B and C pillar covers and rhino lined the grip so you'd have like a good grip, and then also flocked them to make them like cool and black and stuff and make you like really pretty. And I'm not stoked on the way they turned out. I mean, they look good, you know, in the truck they're gonna look fine, but my definition of quality has kind of changed over the past year. It's kind of hard to look at stuff you did a year ago and then be like still okay with it. Does that make sense? Like if you don't look at your shit that you did a year ago and say like this is bad quality, then you're probably not growing much, right? I don't know. Unless you're just perfect. Probably rip out these today and end up just ordering black ones online because I think there's only like $100 a piece. This leaves me in a spot on something and I need your opinion on this. This is where I'm gonna rely on you guys. I could call it there, do the door panels and be done. Or I could pull this dash apart and do that black as well, because this is brown. This is that same color. It clashes a little bit. I'm no fashion expert, but it's a little bit of a clash. That being said, I also don't really want to pull out this fucking dashboard and deal with wiring. But that's what YouTube's about, you know, is doing stuff for people who want to watch. So if that's something you guys think is worth the effort, I'll totally go through with it. If you guys are like, fuck yeah, do the dash, pull it out, make it black, make it look cool, put lights in it, fuckface, I don't care. Then I'll pull the dash and do a black one. I'm not looking forward to it because there's a lot of electricity in this truck, a lot of fucking things that can go wrong and get unplugged and then not work ever again because I'm stupid, but I'm willing to try. I'm totally willing to try. I have had this thought just now, hear me out, this is where I do my worst idea thinking. Thinking about, with the back seats, building like a hinge system that basically like makes them lean. You could probably lean and like stretch the legs out a little bit. The problem is that I'm short, and that's gonna work great for me. You know, I'll be able to extend that seat and really lean back as much as I want. But for like a taller person sitting in the back seat, their knees are probably gonna fucking hit the seat in front of them. Tell me what you think. I think like a folding seat to kind of just a little bit more inclined for comfortable long rides with 4 people. For the dogs, man, if it could fold out into a bed for the dogs, ooh, Oh, by the way, I got a spool gun for my welder. So I could do aluminum welding with a MIG. I want to do TIG welding, but I don't have money for a TIG machine. So if you want to give me a TIG machine, email me. DoingItWithDan@gmail.com. Links in the description. Business inquiries only. But otherwise, I'm gonna be doing it with this. One-handed drop. Either way, I think first things first, I'd like to kind of figure out what's going on with these lights and make sure they all work. And then we'll just move back. I'm gonna rip the interior out. We're just gonna start over with this truck. All right, threw the bumper back on here real easy. Everything, the tolerances all worked fine. The bolts that I originally used, the frame up front wasn't tweaked, which means that everything went right where it needed to go, which is, nice for a change. But, of course, bottom light bar fits great from Diode Dynamics, thank you very much. But I have the amber LED bar, and then I got the clear one over there. Some of the tolerances have changed with the liner on the mounts that I originally made, and after looking at it, I think I want the LED bar to stick out just a little bit further and higher anyway. So I'll probably build my own little custom mounts here and just have them kind of stick up off the bumper, and I'll paint them black so they'll blend in good. But bumper's in, nice and strong. If you want to see me build that bumper, there's videos on it in the playlist of this. See how the lights? I didn't even check the headlights. The blinkers worked, but the headlights. So neither headlight work. Okay. Had a box. Shit we took out. Some of it's mine, some of it's probably not. Okay, this is the headlight wiring. This is for the headlights. Okay, I remember this wiring. These are the LED controllers because they're LED headlights, except for, oh man, this is gonna be miserable. I don't even remember how half this wiring goes. It had HIDs in it as well. I don't know if, I don't remember if I still had HIDs, I don't remember. There's an HID, okay, I have 2 HID valves right here. Great. Right, so I knew this was just gonna be a quadruple nightmare. This is one of the main reasons I hate picking something back up after months, like 11 months of doing stuff. This sucks, right? Especially with wiring. I can almost handle mechanical shit, like I can figure out, oh, A plus B equals C. But when it comes to wiring, there's ones and zeros and positives and negatives and pretty much death. I'm not saying you're gonna get killed by a bunch of headlight wires, but this sucks. Not that you guys care. Most of you guys just wanna see me do work and finish shit, which never happens. But I fitted these headlights with diode dynamics. They have an LED board, so you can, it changes these colors up top and bottom. And then the demon eyes also can change colors as well. This is part of the wiring harness that I built that powers the LED. See, these are the controllers, Bluetooth controllers, so they work off your phone, right? And then you have your drivers these are the demon eye drivers, and here is then this is the driver. It looks pretty much the same for the color boards. This is awesome, like, cause these can control up to 4 different light assemblies, essentially, in one color. And if you get multiple one of these, you can change them different colors. I have two of them, RGBW controllers, which means that I can control my demon eyes separate from my running lights. Pretty fucking cool. It was a little complicated the first time I did it. Now I have to kind of like refigure out my old hack engineering. But I got it. You have to do your drivers first, your LED drivers, into the controller. Because if you try to put the controller directly into LEDs, blows them up. Ask me how I figured that out. I did that the hard way the first time. There's a video on that. Go watch it. And on top of that, I found these old ballasts, or whatever these things are called. The HIDs on this truck has never been super reliable, but I'll probably just plug and play these back on to save time and money. Yeet. So I think I actually have pretty much everything kind of how it needs to go. There is a couple of exceptions, I will say, but excluding that, I don't think there's any reason why my LED headlights and my demon eyes shouldn't work. So I'm gonna kind of give it a shot. Pop that back in there. Hell yes! I did it! Yes! Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Are you looking at it? Did you see the shit that I just did? Yep, looking at that shit. Damn, does it feel good to be a gangster. I'm happy with that. I don't feel like there's enough of the wiring left for me to salvage the HID kit, and it's old and it's gross. I don't like the way it looks, it's all nasty. Good news is that the headlights are already wired for it, so all I gotta do is get a new kit, pretty much plug and play. So that solves our headlight issue. Bumpers on there nice and good, everything's going good with that. I suppose there's really nothing keeping us from putting the grill back on, right? The El Horno still doesn't El Worko, but that's okay. go. So I texted Laura photos of the grill. I was like, hey, which one do you think looks better? And she's like, I like the one that you made better because she's an amazing loving girlfriend, and I didn't tell her to say that one at all. That being said, before I close the hood and move on, the air filter needs to be addressed. This thing is, yeah, look at that. Pretty gross, right? But yeah, you can wash these out apparently. Talked to a couple buddies of mine, they're like, yeah, just wash it out, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna go run it under the water in my utility sink, get it nice and clean, and then let it dry for a couple days before I, even think about putting it in. I actually canceled that. I was just reading online that you gotta wash it with some sort of like oil and shit. That's above me right now. So I'm just gonna order a new one like a lazy piece of shit. All right, up next on my list of shits. All right, up next on my list of shits to do is I'm basically gonna clean this thing out. It's been a minute. Probably gonna pull the headliner out too while I'm at it. Makes me sad in the pants. As we're kind of coming to a close here on today's, like, what we're doing, I figured I'd go over something I like to call process of elimination. When it comes to removing anything OEM manufacturer, like clips and parts and stuff like that, this is gonna be a great example. The reason I call it process of elimination is because you basically pull and tug on these pieces until they won't move anymore or you're close to breaking them. Then you realize, oh shit, there's another bolt, right? I'll show you real quick like the different ways that manufacturers, specifically like GM, hides stuff in this trim, right? You look at this and you're like, okay, there's no seams, right? All you have is like where it flushly mounts against the metal here. Looking down in there, there's no bolts, nothing like, no, there's no bolts underneath there, nothing, right? There's only one bolt on this panel and it's right here, down here. Some 7mm, I believe, because GM, but it's only one bolt. So I'll go ahead and remove this, right? Whoopsie. Put it in our bag for safekeeping. So normally I would start just tugging and prying on this thing and trying to figure out where the weak spots were until one of the clips popping, you know? There we go. But I'm getting a lot of resistance from here. That popped off real good. No resistance from the bottom end, right? Now that's if you don't know how to take this panel off. I've taken this off before, so I know where all the bolts are. I'm just kind of showing you my thought process on how I would approach another one. So you're starting to get a little bit of, popping. Look at that. I didn't even have to use my pry bar this time. There's just a few more clips here, but I'm getting a lot of resistance from this area and this area. Now I'll say this. On panels, if you've never taken off a panel before, like door panel, almost always you'll find some supports hidden in the armrest just because you put your arm on it, see what I'm saying? Like, you really want that to be secure because that's what people do every fucking day. Maybe not at once, but over the course of like 5 years, right? So there's usually one or two of them hidden somewhere along here, and then usually the door handle trim. These are almost guaranteed to always have bolts in it. I'll show you where. Man, you're looking, there's no bolts. Nothing, there's no nuts, no bolts, no screws. Oh man, but we look a little bit closer and we see, what's this? We see a little notch there for a screwdriver. Well, if I just get you can use trim tools too, if I just get my handy little screwdriver here. Oh, what's that? That's another bolt.
I found it. I'm the world's greatest detective.
In the bag for safekeeping. Amber alert, whatever. Oh, look at that. Now we got some play here, right? We got some play. Still getting a lot of resistance from this. Look down in here, it's really hard to see because you never look in here because it's fucking gross. But underneath here, we got a little in compartment, which, besides storing cocaine in, GM likes to put nuts. GM loves nuts. Oh, you fucker. Then in the bag for safekeeping. There we go, look at that. No resistance, there's just a couple of clips along here for this particular one. Give them the old razzle dazzle. And there we go, easy as 1, 2, 4. And then this part is pretty unit specific, right? Like door lock mechanisms are gonna vary from unit to unit, part of car, manufacturer to manufacturer. If I remember right, I think these probably just pop right up, right? Looks like a panel, right? Look at that. I could be a detective.
A is for Alfred.
And I'll just, while holding a camera, mind you, one hand this whole thing. And do that like a baller. I mean, not everyone could be as awesome as me, but you know, it's kind of like one of those things that the longer you work on, the more you work on it, the better you get. All right, there's the door panels. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna end today's video. I got the whole rear of the truck all cleaned out, the door panels off. I don't know, I guess I should probably replace this as well. I also need the back glass taken out again, which would be like the 3rd time. Because if I'm gonna be doing some cutting and welding on this body piece, I'll need the glass out, otherwise I'll break it. So that's fun, so I gotta remove that again. I'm also going to, in the next video, probably, remove the driver and passenger seats again. Hear me out. So, like you can see all that nasty, like rusty corrosion and shit like that, and it doesn't look very good. I think I'm gonna take the seats out again, just clean them up. You know, I don't like looking at that, and you can see them. You know what I'm saying? Probably hit them with some WD-40, make them nice and clean, and if need be, paint them to make sure they don't rust again. But I don't like looking at them. They're the same for the passenger. You see it really nasty right there. So I'm gonna probably pull those seats out, but I still need kind of like move the truck around right now as it is. I don't feel like sitting on a bucket. It's really weird working on this thing again. I didn't really want to because I'm so stoked to be working on that thing, right? And not because it's an awesome Mustang, but because I'm really challenging myself and doing all sorts of cool stuff, and I'm learning how to do fabrication stuff. But obviously those get a lot less views, which means I make less money, which means it's harder to like keep things going. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to do as much like dually content as I can, because y'all seem to like it. And when those videos do well, it helps fund project. And then just spend as much time as I can making like really good videos for the Mustang, and maybe that'll be like a good compromise. The Camaro, I'm just not ready to give it the attention that it needs, because I don't really want to be switching in between other projects with it. And I got a motor for the Mustang. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and comment on the video, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. I know that I get a bunch of people who watch my videos aren't even subscribed. People still do the notification bell thing. Is that still a thing?